If you've ever felt any kind of fear or apprehension about working with dreams, kind of going deeper into your mind, the 3 things I'm going to share could help you reclaim your dream space. And I get it. I had complex PTSD for years, and the idea of delving deeply into my mind, terrified me. And I've worked with a lot of clients who, when they come to me, the only dreams they've remembered as adults were nightmares. And maybe for you, you're worried that if you start lucid dreaming, you're going to unlock or unleash a whole bunch of stuff that you're just not ready to face. And listen, you will always know what is best for you moment to moment to moment, but I encourage you to listen to these 3 important things and to consider if reclaiming your dream space might actually be the right step forward. So number 1, why it is that it feels like you only have nightmares. And this happens a lot, especially with clients who are just beginning to activate their recall. They say, well, listen, the only dreams I remember tend to be terrible dreams. There's a reason for that. Most dreams are actually pretty normal. They tend to reflect whatever day-to-day state of mind you have. But because they're boring, because they're normal, and because you're not focused on dreams, you won't really remember them. Unless you have an active dream recall practice where you're bringing up 6 to 8 dreams a night, most of the time you are only going to remember dreams that are very emotionally activating. And nightmares tend to be the most emotionally activating there are. So you'll remember them because they stand out more, but also because we tend to wake up from nightmares more. Some part of our mind is pretty good at resisting things we don't want. So if you're in a terrible nightmare, some part of you presses the eject button, right? You might even have that feeling of like, I think this is a dream. This must be a dream. It's so bad, it's gotta be a dream. And then you press the eject button and you wake up. So again, because you're waking up out of the dream, you're going to remember it more. And it's important to understand this because if you think that all you have is nightmares, if you feel like your dreamscape is a unfriendly, scary place to be, of course lucid dreaming isn't going to sound very fun. But I want to assure you that, the vast majority of what you're dreaming is probably pretty normal. The nightmares just stand out because they're memorable. And in fact, the more you begin to work intentionally with your dream space, the more you'll discover all the other spectrum of experiences you're having every night in your dream space, from the boring to the extraordinary. And this leads to the second part, which is that actually repression leads to this kind of dream aggression. Nightmares are often aspects of our mind or our experience that are calling out for attention. And the more we ignore it, whether that's in the waking life, in the dreaming life, the more we push it away, the stronger that gets, the louder it has to become to get our attention. One of the fascinating things I found is that for myself as well, when I started to work with my PTSD and with my childhood trauma, for instance, my dreams didn't get worse, which is what I expected. My dreams got better. Because I was actually taking them on during the waking life intentionally, I found that it freed it up in my dream space. When I was ignoring it, then it came knocking. And so interestingly, if you start working actively with your dreams, and also actively with anything that you need to address in the waking realm, you will find that your dream space doesn't have to scream to get your attention anymore. Your nightmares will transform into a more reasonable message that it's going to send you. So if we can see that resistance leads to this kind of like over-exaggerated, overcompensated expression towards us, you can feel a little bit safer knowing that if you do turn your mind to the dream space, it's likely to help ease up any of the kind of scary and nightmarish factors that are going on. And number 3, which is the most important, I think, to really understand, and it will take some time for you to build this trust in your own dream space, but please take my word for it now, which is that your mind will only give you what you are capable of handling. I know for the longest time, I had a bunch of compartmentalized memories from childhood. And, even in my lucid dreams, when I would request to try access some of that stuff, it literally just appeared as a locked room that I couldn't enter. So I knew I had repressed memories for a long time because of this recurring theme of locked rooms. But my mind did not give me access to that until I had the correct therapeutic container to actually deal with it. And so just trust, your mind isn't going to unleash everything on you all at once. Your mind is you. And in fact, your unconscious mind is a smarter, more whole, more wise version of yourself. And so if you begin to have a little bit of faith in that relationship, you'll know that whatever you have to deal with in your dreams is well within your capabilities of holding. And as you increase your capacity, whether that's through therapeutic support or just taking it day by day, you'll be able to access and process more and more of your own psyche. but it's not going to just rip it open all at once. So having that trust that you will not be given more than you can handle, you're not going to go into your dream space and then, lose your mind. That in fact, there is a trustworthy and respectful relationship that exists between you and your unconscious mind, and you can kind of collaborate and work on the healing together. It can seem daunting at first, but lucid dreaming is a powerful way to skillfully and safely work with what is in your own mind. And as you do that, you will build, the confidence and the courage to go deeper and deeper and deeper into aspects of yourself that maybe before you thought were really off limits. And if you're someone who's working with nightmares and you want to learn more about that, you can watch my video where I go more into nightmare practices in lucid dreaming.